This is the plaintiff, Miriam Baker. She says the defendant's her nephew, and she loaned him money when he got out of prison so he could get his barber's license. He ended up quitting cosmetology school and went into the plumbing business, but he hasn't paid her back for the loan she gave him. He basically took her money, threw it in the garbage, and she's here suing him for the $4,283 she's now owed. This is the defendant, Oscar Valentine Jr. He says his aunt, the plaintiff, loaned him money for rent when he got out of jail, and he paid her back in full. 5 months after that, he wanted to get a barber's license, and the plaintiff told him she wanted him to have a good life and a career, and she paid his tuition. She gave it to him out of the goodness of her heart. Never mentioned back then it was a loan, and now that she's unhappy, he's a plumber, is trying to claim the money was a loan. Bottom line, he doesn't owe his aunt for a gift. He's accused of cutting off an aunt.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says her nephew stiffed her when he got out of prison. She loaned him money to go to barber school, but he says he's now a plumber and it was a gift. It's the case of the plumber who clipped his aunt.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Ms. Baker.
Hello.
Mr. Valentine, this is your aunt, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Your aunt who has been there for you every step of the way since the minute you got out. What were you in for? You spent how long in there?
10 years.
For what? Just tell me the charge.
Armed robbery, aggravated battery,
Yeah,
firearm.
because what you had said, because your aunt loves you so much, was something ridiculous like possession of a firearm. So you go in at what age?
15,
You get out when?
25.
All right, and you want to help him when he gets out?
Yes.
Get on his feet. Were you living in Florida already?
No, I'm living in New York. I've been, helping him.
So you
while I
moved
was in
down
New
to
York.
Florida to help him?
No, I go down
Oh,
there
you
because my
went
family
down. You just went down to help him. All right.
I go down there like 3 times a year
Yeah.
to be supportive.
So you pay for what? You get him an apartment?
No, I paid for his citations to get a driver's license because he still had unpaid citations. Paid for his clothing so he can, get a job with my brother as a plumber's assistant. He paid me back.
Was he supposed to pay you back for either of those?
Yes.
And
yes.
did he?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
3 months later.
Were you also involved in him getting an apartment?
Yes, he was living with my brother at the time and his girlfriend, and she got pregnant. And
Is this the girlfriend or no?
It's my wife.
That's your wife, okay.
at the time, it was a girlfriend.
Okay.
So he needed an apartment. They needed apartments. So I went ahead and I believe the loan was about $2,000
For the apartment?
for the apartment.
And did he pay you back on that?
Yes,
All right,
they were both paid me back
Okay.
actually.
And then, was there anything else that you fronted for him?
Yes, actually, the cosmetology school.
Okay, so let's talk about that. He told you you had wanted to be a barber.
Yes, ma'am.
And so you enrolled in what school
Sun State Academy.
in order to get your barber's license?
Yes.
And they were charging how much?
I think it came up to like $12,000 total.
Wow. All right, and then did you get a loan in order to pay that?
Yes, I got a student loan, and the student loan covered
Some of it.
the whole intuition.
Okay. Well, then why did you accept your aunt's help on that? Because you did.
Because she wanted to come in and she said that she wanted to help me out.
No, but if you already had help, you already had a student loan covering it, why did you accept it?
Because she called the school, and she's the one that made.
How did she come up with that very specific figure of $4,283? It's so specific. What did that represent?
I don't
And
know.
can you tell me, since you're the one who paid it? Like,
Yes,
how was-
actually, he had called me on April 4th and asked me if he can borrow $4,283.
Because that's what the loan was short?
Exactly, and then.
So that's the part that was supposed to come out of his pocket. Does that sound familiar?
No, ma'am.
Okay, then why? Then she's given me an explanation that makes sense. You give me a counter to that. Why that specific amount?
Good idea, bad idea to loan money to a relative?
It is absolutely a wonderful idea because you know you would never be broken. You always have something out there on a rainy day.
You buying that?
No.
Good idea.
I think when it's a relative, it's easy for them to forget to pay you back.
Or forget or to take advantage. What do you say?
To take advantage.
Yeah, I'm thinking going inside the courtroom.
The school loan was already paid for. The school, I was already getting the
Okay,
student loan.
first of all, you need to understand what the word loan means. There was a loan. I think what you're trying to say is that there was a loan to cover the entire tuition.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then where does the figure 4,283 come in if you were correct?
I have no idea.
Well, maybe you should have an idea because it's your life.
Exactly, but I had no idea of what was being paid, how much was being paid. All I know is she came in.
Have you started to pay back that loan, or have you defaulted on the student loan?
No, I'm still paying on my student loan as of right now.
Did you end up finishing?
No, I took on plumbing as a full-time career. I no longer want to become a barber or cosmetologist. I am now a licensed commercial plumber in the union. And
So you're
barber-
making good money.
Yes.
Well, your aunt wants her $4,283 back. So what this comes down to is you say that this was a loan like everything else and he's supposed to pay it back. You say that it was a gift.
Yes.
Okay. What evidence do you have? See, typically speaking, when we have this come down, a judge is trying to look to see what the circumstances were surrounding the transfer of money to figure out if you had a right to think it was a loan or you had a right to think it was a gift. So step one, is there a promissory note? The answer is no. Step two, are there any texts or emails between you guys at the time that would give me an indication of whether it's a loan or a gift? And I think the answer to that is no.
No.
Step three, are there any texts or emails or anything in writing between the two of you after that with conduct that would indicate to me that it was a loan or a gift?
Yes.
That we do have, and we'll discuss that in a moment. But one of the other things that judges look at in trying to determine that is the amount we're talking about. Because we're not talking about $100. We're talking about almost, 4,200. We're talking about exactly $4,283. That's a lot of money. And every other time that your aunt stepped up to the plate for you, you paid her back.
Correct.
And the favor, the help, was fronting you the money interest-free. So other than giving you an interest-free loan for 4 years, what is it you think that what would make you think that it was a gift?
Because she said it was a gift.
Do you have any proof of that?
No. I don't have any proof. Everything that was discussed
So
either
why,
in
let's
person.
go with your theory for a moment. Judge, she told me it was a gift. And in fact, the texts that I do see that you submitted into evidence show him to either legitimately or dishonestly think that, looking back on it, it was a gift. Hold on. Good morning, Papito. Hope all is well. When you have a moment, can you call me so that we can discuss a payment arrangement for the beauty loan that you borrowed from me? Thanks, love you. And then your answer, I know you told me last year when I paid off the money you gave us to get the apartment that I didn't owe you any money for that loan. You call it a loan. But if you change your mind, it's fine, I'll call you later. What did you mean by that?
I referred to it as a loan because that's what she referred to it as when she wrote me saying, can we discuss a payment plan for the loan or the money that I gave you? So I refer back to it as a loan.
I don't know. So in any event, there's a lot of back and forth where you promise that you're going to pay, and come tax season, and then she's patient, and then tax season comes, and you're, a unionized plumber. You're making enough money to pay it back. I'm kind of wondering why you do this. What happened?
What happened is that everything that took place was either over the phone or in person. There's no text messages that show or any.
I'm sorry. You want me to read you all the texts where you say you're going to pay it? Let's do that.
Yeah, I know.
Would you?
I know
Oh, okay. All right.
because
So that's not true that everything took place over the phone or in person.
Okay, you're right.
There are. So now, if you want to tell me what took place over the phone and in person, I'm happy to hear it.
What took
but
place
don't
over
say
the phone
nothing
is this,
happened on text. Yeah.
Is that we had a falling out.
What was the falling out about?
The falling out was about my uncle's wife was coming to visit her in New York. She texted my wife in reference to if my daughter can get on a plane with my uncle's wife to come up to visit her.
How old was your daughter?
My daughter was 1 at the time.
That's a little young.
And I told her no.
Okay.
And that started a big ordeal, a big fight in between. We had words over the phone.
Why would anybody have words over that? The baby's 1 year old. Nobody wants to.
I just wanted to spend some time with her.
No, I understand you do. Then come down and visit because she's 1. I mean, 1 isn't, just hand him off to the nearest adult and have him fly. I mean, 1 is young, right? You raise kids, you know. Did you raise kids?
Yes, actually,
Okay, so
I was a
you
foster
know.
parent for 15 years.
All right, but so why that argument?
It was an argument. I never got a response.
Okay. So you think that's the reason?
I know that's the reason.
You got anything else going for you here on this argument? Because you call it a loan in your text. You say you're going to pay it back. You say you'll pay it back in tax season. You don't pay it back in tax season. There's numerous other transfers of money, all of which got paid back. The amount is a really high amount, which doesn't, that usually doesn't fall into the category of a gift.
You're absolutely correct.
I am
Or what
absolutely
makes the
correct.
difference
That
from-
happens all the time around here. My verdict is for the
What
plaintiff.
makes the difference?
My verdict is for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,283.
Well, after listening to the testimony, the plaintiff is going to get the money, $4,283. The judge says it was a loan. What do you think?
I have no question. I have no response for it.
You know, what about your relationship with her after this? I mean, she's
There's no
done a lot
relationship.
for you.
She's done nothing for me.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Didn't sound like that from the testimony in the courtroom. It sounded like she's helped you out a lot after you got out of prison.
Everything comes with a price.
Everything comes with a price? You think so? All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You must sign a few documents. Ms. Baker? Doesn't seem to be much appreciation over there, is
Yeah, I
there?
see. So I'm grateful, but it's still a loss because I lost a family member. And that's much more valuable. But you don't hurt the people that you love in the end.
Yeah, well, obviously.
Yeah.
He has no feeling.
I see.
Yeah.
He has to
okay.
live with that.
Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, congratulations, you're going to get your money. All right. Harvey?
I mean, look, this may sound harsh, but I think if a relative asks for money, you should say, fine, if I get an IOU. They may think twice about signing, and if they get offended, tough.